Okay guys, welcome back to the return of my 5-game cycle. So yeah, I am very happy to be back with my 5-game cycle this week. After last week I took a little break from it just to focus on Persona 5 Royal and get that completed, which I did. So Persona 5 Royal is now on my completed games list. I think that's something I'm gonna actually do this week, because I know a lot of other streamers, they actually have a list of the games I've completed. I'm gonna try and get that assembled for myself, because it would be nice to know by now how many games I've actually completed on stream. So that'll be on the to-do list for me this week. Hi Cash, welcome in, happy Monday. So today for Ace Attorney, I'm gonna be taking it nice and chill, nice and slow, and I'm gonna be working my way through the rest of Maya Faye's trial. I don't know whether there'll be an investigation period in the middle of it. There might be. It depends on how well, if we have the evidence to, well, enough evidence to acquit Maya or not. Hi Ibrahim, welcome in. So where is it? There we go. Wait. Yeah. Make sure I get the right one. I hope everyone is having a great week. Also today I'm gonna be talking a little bit, just a little bit about recent events and stuff, because I feel like I do want to make this a little bit of a just chatting stream as well, just to talk with you guys about other things. Because one thing in particular that I'm still pinching myself about is that one of my favourite underdogs, one of my favourite underrated wrestlers, Sami Zayn, is officially the WWE champion. Spoilers for those of you that have not seen Night of Champions. Sami Zayn beat Cody Rhodes and Gunther in the main event and has not only become the next Triple Crown champion, has not only become the next Grand Slam champion, but I'm pretty sure he's got to be like the first Syrian-born WWE champion. So he has made a lot of history with this victory, with his very well-deserved victory. I think it was probably the biggest and most emotional title win since Cody. Oh, and now that my fiance has very kindly refilled my drink for me, I'm gonna hydrate, because I am well aware my voice is a little bit crackly. Also, if you if you have a ice cube storage thing in your fridge, little life hack for when you're dealing with a hot day, I cannot recommend putting ice cubes in your water enough. It cools you down so much. Not that I'm overly warm, but because I do think finally the heat wave is going down, but King Cash, thank you so much for the 15 stream streak. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. And Ibrahim, ever since I was a little boy, I was gifted with dark magic powers that I can know what someone is thinking after they tell it to me first. If you mean when I was saying hi to you, of course I was gonna say hi to you and send my well wishes, because anyone that supports me, I always want them to be doing great. I never want anybody to be doing terrible. Just check the game audio really quickly. Okay. It might be a little bit louder. It's loudest, but the general audio itself should be pretty okay. Okay. Ibrahim, you gotta wish someone to be doing terrible like the bad criminals out there in the world. I don't know any criminals, so I can't really comment on that and be like, oh, I know criminals and I hope they're doing terrible and rotting in a jail cell. I can't say that.
Objection.
But following on from the point I made about Sami Zayn, he's probably not watching my stream because he's probably busy getting ready for his first title appearance either tonight on Raw or Friday on SmackDown, but I do want to say congrats to Sami on winning the WWE title because I've been a fan of Sami Zayn for nearly 10 years. It'll be 10 years next year because... Well, actually, no, it might be 10 years, because I started watching NXT, I want to say, in 2015, maybe 2014. No, I think it was 2015, like late 2015, and Sami Zayn was one of the first people in NXT that I really kind of gravitated towards. I just thought his underdog gimmick was really cool, and I also liked how his entrance was really different, and he still comes out to the same piece of music, to a piece of ska music, and whenever you hear it you instantly get pumped up. He's one of those really fun good guy wrestlers who whenever you see him, you just instantly feel happy and you immediately root for him. So, okay, Nightbot on YouTube, chill out. Nightbot is just invading my YouTube chat and spamming it, even though I swear I have different timers for all of my Nightbot timers. And whereas, switching to gaming, whereas last week I had an on-stream gaming goal, which was to finish Persona 5 Royal, which I did complete. This week I have an off-stream goal, because in 10 or 9 days, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync comes out. So I'm going to be playing 007 First Light a lot this week off stream, so I really want to get that over and done with so I can have at least some space in my off-stream gaming schedule to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. Cash, did I see the video of Kevin Owens on social media and what he said about the NXT parking lot? I did see a video of Kevin Owens meeting fans on social media because I think he was at NXT Great American Bash last night, but I didn't watch it with volume. I watched it muted, so I don't know what he said. I know he was saying things, but I just assumed because he was meeting fans, he was talking about the show or how he's doing, how he's recovering from his injury. By the way, I said this to my mum when we both watched Sami Zayn win the world title, but that moment, and especially how Kevin Owens reacted to it, it made me miss Kevin Owens so much, because Kevin Owens is another person who, when he debuted in NXT, even though at the start of his NXT career he was a bad guy, I really gravitated to him. And I remember my first opinion of KO being like, oh, he's a right meanie, and I don't really like his mic work, but when he gets in the ring he's really good. But now I just think in general he's really, really good, and having seen him wrestle live at WWE live events and stuff, I just, and I can't believe he's still going to be out for another few years before he even thinks about getting in the ring again, because for some reason, clearly his neck had been through a lot of trauma, because he's going to be out a while still. Ibrahim, she'd be so happy about GTA 6 being £70. For her it's all sunshine and rainbows. I am still surprised about that. Yeah, I know when you compare it to US dollars, it is about the same or maybe slightly more expensive than America, but if you're in Britain and you do use pounds, it is cheaper. So I do have a reason to be happy. I'm still not gonna pre-order it or get it on launch day. I think I am gonna wait for the hype to die down with it a little bit. But I said this on Twitter and I'll repeat my words here. I am glad I won't have to break the bank as much as I thought I would to get that game. Because I will get it at some point. I'm just not rushing to get it, especially with all of the other great games coming out this year and early next year. So I've already said the next game I've got my eye on is Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but the game after that I've got my eye on is, I'll probably be looking a lot more at September. So Blood of Dawnwalker, I'm interested in that. Wolverine, I'm interested in that. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 other games in September that I was interested in, but my brain is in kind of like hay fever recovery mode right now, so I'm slightly scatterbrained. You should set your region on your PS5 to Indian or Vietnam. I hear they're selling it digitally for like half the price. I also saw trolls on Twitter saying that, oh no, GTA 6 is sold out on the PS Store. And I'm like, how can GTA sell out digitally?
Objection.
Because digitally doesn't work the same way as physically. As far as I know, you can't run out of digital game stock space. So even if they are trying to troll, I don't think they're doing a good job of it. Another person I'm really happy about winning a title in WWE is Kendall Gray. Don't get me wrong, I would have loved Lola Vice to have had a longer reign with the NXT Women's title, but I do see why they gave it to Kendall, because ever since Kendall came up from NXT, came up from Evolve to NXT, she has been crushing it. So I definitely think they made the right call putting it on Kendall. And plus, I think now Lola might either still perform part-time in NXT and AAA, or she might even make the move full-time to AAA so she can be in Mexico more. I don't know, but either way, I'm sure Lola Vice, despite not being a champion anymore, she's got good things in her future. Ibrahim, you're still gonna wait till November and buy it when it comes out. Yeah, so you're not gonna pre-order it. You're waiting until release day. Fair enough. Ooh, it's time for a new witness. Oh no, it's not like Amnesiac Stranger, is it? Yep, it is. Okay. Ooh, okay, Cash. So the clip of Kevin Owens I saw was when Hank was getting helped up by Tank and WWE officials, and it went to KO as he was coming out of production truck, and he said, "This parking lot, nothing good ever happens here." Well, he's right. Nothing good ever does happen in the NXT parking lot. Yeah, there's been so many whodunits and big attacks and brawls that have happened in that parking lot over the years. So he is right. Anonymous TBD. Come on, dude. That's the most weirdest name ever. Obviously, it's a pun on anonymous, but TBD is to be determined. Even the judge is like, yeah, that's clearly a fake name. Ibrahim, I think them saying there will be no physical disc for GTA 6 is just a marketing strategy to sell as many digital pre-orders as possible, and when the time for release will come, they will make physical disc. I don't know, I've seen plenty of tweets and stuff where I guess sources, I won't say whether they're reliable or not because I don't know, but a lot of people are saying that Rockstar don't have any plans to make a physical disc edition. But then I have also heard a couple of people say the complete opposite. So I guess for those wanting a physical disc for GTA 6, it will be a case of them just waiting it out.
Objection!
I love this piece of OST. It's kind of very kooky, but also very fun. It's also the perfect kind of music to just like bob your head to with the rhythm. Yeah, I did see that, Cash. I did see Kevin Owens was wearing an earpiece, so I do wonder if he was helping produce the show. Like, maybe he's gonna be like Bobby Roode. So Bobby Roode kind of quietly retired from in-ring competition, and now Bobby Roode is a WWE producer. So I do wonder if whilst he's injured, KO is actually starting to help out more backstage, because I think it is usually WWE officials or crew members that have the earpiece on. And the referees also have them on as well, so Paul Levesque can be like in the rear, check if they're okay, check if they're okay. I think that's one of the funniest parts of Unreal, is just seeing the producers and Triple H and everyone in gorilla position, and then you just actually hear them producing a match. It does give me a new respect for the sport, seeing, especially in WWE, the kind of lengths that they'll go to just to make sure a single match is as perfect as it can be. Even if sometimes WWE do make questionable booking decisions. I'm not saying they're perfect by any means. Like the Saudi show, for example, I do think Sami Zayn winning the WWE title did save the show, because aside from that moment, there wasn't really much to talk about at the show. Yeah, Obafemi winning King of the Ring, that was obvious. Io Sky winning Queen of the Ring, that was obvious as soon as Liv Morgan got cursed by Danhausen. That kind of spoiled the match a little bit, because you know that whenever someone gets cursed by Danhausen in WWE, it's an immediate lose situation for the opponent, or for the cursee, to put it in a better way. Ibrahim, you're also very skeptical of GTA 6, because if we set our expectations for GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, we should also see that 90% of the people who worked on GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 have left Rockstar. Yeah, I know Dan Houser, he's probably the biggest person to have left Rockstar since Red Dead 2 came out, because now he's started his own gaming company and is working on his own games. So I don't really know of anyone else that is notable that's left Rockstar since then, but I only know about Dan Houser because he's obviously appeared at gaming events to promote his new games. King Cash, the clip of KO I mentioned with Hank and Tank was from NXT Great American Bash. I figured, because I knew he was there on Sunday. I haven't actually seen the show yet. I only know about Kendall because Kendall Gray winning the NXT Women's title was everywhere on my social media, so unfortunately it was kind of hard to avoid it. And when it comes to Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship, I'm not ashamed to admit I happy cried. As soon as it hit me, I just kind of sat there. I was sat on the edge of my seat, just happy crying and saying, like, he deserves it so much, because he really does. It was one of those moments that I think, because I have supported him for so long, and seeing him finally achieve his dream, the emotions really did hit me, and I did have to let the tears flow a little bit. I also cried for Cody when he beat Roman to finish his story at WrestleMania a couple of years ago. So I guess I'm just like that now whenever I see wrestlers that I really like and that I also think are really underrated, especially in Sami Zayn's case. win a title. I'll probably be like that as well because another wrestler that I've also loved since his NXT days that I really hope wins a singles title soon, Chad Gable. If he won a singles title, I think I'd probably get a little bit emotional because Chad Gable, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated wrestlers on the WWE roster for sure. Yeah, it was obvious, Cash. I do wonder if now Obafemi is gonna be doing double duty at SummerSlam. Maybe he'll face Brock Lesnar on night one because I do think Oba and Brock is gonna happen at SummerSlam because SummerSlam's in Minnesota, which is Brock's home state. So I think that match might actually be Brock Lesnar's official retirement match. And then he'll probably face, I think he is going to pick Roman. And Oba is probably going to face Roman on night 2 for the World Heavyweight title. I really hope he's not going to pick Sami Zayn because I know for a fact if Obafemi does pick Sami Zayn and does a swerve and goes after Sami, he's probably gonna win. Whereas with Roman, I feel like it could go either way. Yeah, I think that's definitely the way it's gonna go, King Cash. Cause I don't see Brock Lesnar retiring anywhere else. Because as soon as people said after he did his fake retirement at WrestleMania that he was probably gonna come back at SummerSlam in his home state and properly retire there, I was like, oh yeah, he's totally gonna come back. I also think in terms of the women's division for WWE, it's a shame that Stephanie McMahon got injured because I feel like Liv's women's title reign hasn't been anywhere near as good as it probably should have been. And unfortunately, I think a big part of that is because they are clearly waiting for Stephanie McMahon to heal up and come back so she can maybe win the title off of Liv. But I am hoping that maybe at SummerSlam they might maybe have Liv drop the title to Io, so maybe they can have the title actually be defended more and in more rivalries since because it sounds like maybe Stephanie might be coming back soon because I did hear that she's going to be at Fanatics Fest in New York when WWE goes to New York for Saturday night's main event. But until then, I just genuinely wish the women's world title was defended more. It also seems the women's division is a little bit cursed at the minute, no pun intended, because I mentioned Danhausen not long ago, but Rhea Ripley is also apparently injured, so hopefully she will be back in time for SummerSlam. I'm hoping so, because Rhea's another person that deserves a really good reign with the title she has, because she's such a big star and she's really popular.
Hold it!
Pardon me. Another match from the Saudi Show Night of Champions that I wanted to talk about was Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, because I thought, apart from Sammy and Cody and Gunther, that was probably the second best match of the night for me. So I do think Seth and Braun at Night of Champions had the wrong winner. I feel like, especially given how well he performed during the match, and apparently the spot where Braun Breaker got busted open actually wasn't meant to happen. I do think that Braun Breaker should have beaten Seth Rollins, and yeah, my mum also wasn't very happy, because my mum is not a Seth Rollins or a Becky Lynch fan by any means. She just thinks they're both very been there, done that. Not in like their gimmick, but they're just always winning some sort of title or tournament. And in Becky's case, my mum doesn't think she's a good champion as a heel because she barely defends it. So, or if she does defend it, she always wins. So on the WWE website or mobile app under Superstars, there is a free agent section. AJ Lee, Brie Bella, Brock Lesnar, Danhausen, Nikki Bella, Obafemi, Omos and Paige are all there. Yeah, some of those names make sense, like Brie and Paige being free agents makes sense, because they're the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, which means they can defend their title on any brand, Raw, SmackDown or NXT. And Obafemi being a free agent makes sense because he has made appearances on both Raw and SmackDown. I'm surprised Omos hasn't been full-on assigned to AAA, because I've not seen him on Raw, SmackDown in ages. He seems to be helping El Hijo del Vikingo a lot now on AAA, so I feel like WWE maybe could have a AAA roster page and have Omos on that, or maybe just have Omos on the AAA roster on the AAA website, and maybe just make a note on their website that he's AAA. And Nikki Bella's injured, so I guess it makes sense that she's a free agent, especially because she is still associated with Brie, so wherever Brie goes, Nikki goes. And Danhausen just pops up wherever, so a lot, yeah. And then AJ, I know CM Punk has teased that he's heading to Friday Night SmackDown because he teased it at a bare knuckle fighting event that he commentated at. But I do wonder what's going on with AJ, because all I know is she said goodbye and thank you to loads of women on social media, and I've not really heard much about her WWE plans after that. Oh, there's a AAA roster section on the WWE website. Yeah. So Omos could just be on that. Like, why is he a free agent? He should just be on AAA, because he has been on AAA. It is weird that they have him basically being the bodyguard of this young lucha libre wrestler in El Hijo del Vikingo. I'm surprised Omos isn't just causing chaos on AAA. Okay, so we are doing cross-examination. So I am gonna press to get more information.
Hold it!
Okay, not much information out of that. So I'll press on this statement instead. Bear with me, guys. Just gonna reply to a quick message from my mom. There we go. Very quick reply. Oh yeah, good question, Cash. I am very, very surprised about Nikita Lyons becoming the new Evolve Women's Champion. I was kind of hoping that Wendy Chu might have a little bit of a longer reign with the belt. Especially because compared to Nikita, I do feel like Wendy Chu has been she's been putting in the grind for a lot longer. And she's been really working hard. She's had a lot of bad luck with injuries as well over the years. So I do think maybe Wendy Chu could have had a better reign. And it's also interesting given that Nikita Lyons, I don't know whether LFG is finished or whether it's still going on, but Nikita Lyons is on the current season of LFG. So it's interesting that they're I do wonder if Nikita being Evolve Women's Champion is a way to promote LFG. Like, you should watch LFG because this is what happens to people that are on the show. So I will say I am a very big fan of Nikita's character. I don't know whether she's changed it since she joined Evolve and is also on LFG, but I do like how she kind of presents herself as this badass kind of alpha female, and also she sings her own theme song as well, which I always love it. Any wrestler who sings their own theme song, unless it's Liv Morgan and they're trying to pretend that they're like a bootleg Britney Spears or something like that. But I do really like Nikita's theme song, and I know that she sings as a side gig as well, because she releases music. And yeah, I can see that, Cash. Yeah, and LFG kind of reminds me of the early days of NXT, when NXT was more a competition or a reality show. Yeah, I do kind of miss those days, but I do think NXT has proven itself as a brand, and it is crazy how the NXT reality show back in the day launched the careers of so many current WWE wrestlers, like Naomi and, Wade Barrett, although he does commentary now. There was AJ Lee as well. She was on the only female season of NXT, as was Caitlyn before she left WWE.
Hold it!
And Bray Wyatt, when he was alive, he came into WWE through the NXT reality show as well, because he was Husky Harris. All of Nexus came through the NXT reality show, so like Wade Barrett, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater. I'll add on to your statement, Cash, there. It makes me laugh even more that DX and Undertaker run WWE, NXT, and AAA, because Triple H runs Raw and SmackDown. Shawn Michaels, of course, runs NXT. And I don't know if you know this, but Undertaker actually runs AAA. So even though Rey Mysterio is like the on-screen general manager, Undertaker is actually the guy behind the scenes that books the show and produces the show and puts it together. So I do think that a lot of people should be crediting Undertaker for AAA's recent success with the mask versus mask match between El Grande Americano original and the now only El Grande Americano, and also the fact that AAA have just brought back the, I guess, popular stable. What's it called? Los Perros del Mal, I think it's called. And Angel and Beto and Carmen Petrovic are part of that stable now, which is really cool. Okay, So I am just gonna look at the court record just because I want to make sure that I know which evidence to present. Yeah, I know, it's a funny coinkydink that Fred has a cousin called Ryan, and there's also a character in The Boys called Ryan. Yeah, haha, very funny. That's one thing I do need to do more, Cash. I do need to actually watch the WWE Podcast Network, as they call it, on YouTube. Because I've been meaning to watch more episodes of Cody Rhodes' podcast, What Do You Want to Talk About? And also Undertaker's podcast and Stephanie McMahon's podcast. I'm not really bothered about Logan Paul's podcast because who likes Logan Paul, you know? But Stephanie, Undertaker, and Cody Rhodes are definitely podcasts I need to check out more of. Right. I'll press just because I want to make sure I get the most information before I plan on presenting the evidence and progressing the cross-examination. No, I haven't. I haven't continued the X-Files, Ibrahim. I still need to find a good website, a good way to watch it. I don't know if I want to pay for another subscription service right now, especially because I'm still looking for a job. Because that's one of the reasons I am looking for a job, is because I want to have more income, so I don't feel like I'm just watching my money kind of be spent up by all these subscriptions. I don't think right now, with me still being on the unemployment line, I have enough money to be adding more subscriptions. But I also don't want to cancel any of the current subscriptions I'm using, so like Crunchyroll, Netflix, Spotify. I do really want to watch X-Files, but it's leaving Amazon Prime. That's the problem. They had to give up the rights on X-Files on Amazon Prime right as I'm watching it. The timing is really, really S-wordy. King Cash, Cody's podcast is funny, especially when they get drunk, and especially when Cody says who's been drunk on his podcast. Yeah, because I have seen videos where I think the podcast is sponsored by Wheatley's American Vodka, so that's probably what they drink on the podcast. And it also takes me back to when Cody and Jey Uso won the tag titles at Backlash or wherever it was, and they got drunk, and it made the press conference really funny. It could also come to HBO Max, Ibrahim, because we do have HBO Max in the UK now. HBO Max came out for the UK not long ago. I don't think the UK could access it before. And as for my Prime, I use my dad's Prime, but my dad's going through some financial issues at the minute. So I'm having to wait for him to sort those out before I can even use my dad's Prime account again. Okay, stab the High Priest with a dagger. Well, it wasn't a dagger, it was an arrow. Okay, I am going to consult a guide on this one because I'm a little stumped. So, Ace, Attorney, there we go, Spirit of Justice. Yeah. Also, my brain is still a little like, ooh. Hang on, Cash. I'll read your funny chat message in a minute. Let me. Yeah, that's Rufus Insight. Okay, here we go. Present the ritual curtain on the 4th. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure if it was right or not. Yeah, because how can he spy on the right if there was a curtain over the site where the rite was being held?
Objection!
Anyway, Cash sent in the chat on Twitch, so there is, for those not in the know, there is a really easy to like and really funny WWE wrestler by the name of Joe Hendry, and he is also a singer who does viral songs and videos on YouTube, and his latest hit song is a song called Can We Fire Logan Paul, and it goes a little something like, Paul, can we fire Logan Paul? And it's so funny. Yeah, I love Joe Hendry. I also believe in Joe Hendry. And I would play a little bit of his viral theme song right now, but I just know if I do, then Twitch is gonna have my head for it, so... But if you want to listen to Joe Hendry, then he is on Spotify, and he does have a YouTube channel, so go check him out. Another thing I really like about Joe Hendry performing that song, Paul, Can We Fire Logan Paul, is Michael Cole singing along to it. When me and my mum first heard Michael Cole singing along to it, we both just like burst out laughing. And it also made me laugh back on NXT when Booker T was singing along to Joe Hendry's theme song. Why don't you watch Sopranos? It's an HBO original. Let me check. So I'm just gonna see where The Sopranos is available, because it really is just about finding a good show I can watch. Yeah, it's only available on HBO Max, so if I want to watch The Sopranos, I need to have HBO Max. Why is everything on a you must pay for subscription service nowadays? It's like Every TV provider in the world expects you to have enough money to pay for every subscription service. Hi, Fred. Ibrahim, you're gonna sell a book, How I Became a Millionaire. Its price is $1 million because it's sacred knowledge. Haha. One thing I will say about the job market right now is I started getting back into job hunting today because I took a few days off due to being sick and all and recovering from my sickness. And it's crazy how, in my area anyway, I thought with it being summer and with the kids like all leaving soon or like leaving school soon or moving up to the next year or whatever, I thought there'd be way more jobs. Maybe I'm just in the little lull before all of the jobs will come raining down on the job market in July, but I really do not know. And the worst part is that like with part-time jobs and being a receptionist and stuff, I don't really have a particular company or even sector that I want to work in. I know I just want to be a receptionist or admin assistant of some kind. Ibrahim, they should have like a one-stop digital shop that shows some movies like Steam is for PC gaming. Yeah, they really should. That's not a bad idea. And Cash, I do like how the commentary team at WWE have more freedom in what they say since Triple H and Shawn Michaels took over, and the freedom the wrestlers have with creative freedom and promo freedom. Yeah, I do really like that. I do, whereas WWE still is not perfect, I do think it's a lot closer to perfect now that Vince has left and Paul Levesque is in charge. Because WWE now is a lot better than it was, say, 6 years ago during the pandemic. And in Michael Cole's case as well on Raw, I know he credits Pat McAfee a lot for reinvigorating not only his love of wrestling, but his commentating career as a whole, because it was due to Pat McAfee and him being goofy and funny on commentary that Michael Cole decided to kind of let go a little bit and be a bit of the same. And I do think it's helped make Michael Cole somehow an even better commentator than he was before. Had it be. Okay, my brain is not braining today, so I'm just gonna keep referring to the guide just so I can keep things moving along nicely. Right. Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, okay. Present the rights guide on the second statement. I'm gonna see if I can figure out why, though. Full moon on that clearance. Unless it wasn't a clearance still night. Let me... Figures were created by the light of the full moon. On that... Okay. Why does that contradict it?
Objection!
I'll let the game kind of help me figure it out. Ibrahim, a brain-eating amoeba would starve in my head? What do you mean? Yeah, you mean because I'm kind of... I don't even... Maybe it's just... I don't think I am hydrating and I am taking care of myself in the heat well, but I also think that because due to the high pollen, I have been having a lot of hay fever lately. I think it's just, especially today, because my hay fever has been pretty bad and I've taken an antihistamine already. I do think my head is just a little foggy. Cash, Michael Cole has had a great career in WWE, just like Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross, and all three should have their own Hall of Fame. I think Jim Ross is in the Hall of Fame already. I think. Though I don't know if Michael Cole isn't, but he probably should be. And I think Jerry Lawler's in the Hall of Fame. So I think the only person that's not in the WWE Hall of Fame out of those three when it comes to commentators is Michael Cole. So he definitely does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. It is funny though, because even though I didn't stream yesterday, I did still get my fair share of Resident Evil gameplay, because Fred and his cousin Ryan were actually playing RE5 for most of the time that Ryan came over, because RE5 is a very, very fun kind of co-op experience. I'm gonna guess he was somewhere else. Because he didn't see the murder makes him more innocent, where if he was somewhere else, it makes him more questionable. Ibrahim, you can relate to Fred. He has so many nightmares. Not just lately, but in general. He just gets riddled with them some days. And some nights, if I'm going through like a momentary period of light sleep, I will be able to tell that he has them, because he does have these little jolts face where you can kind of tell that he is having a nightmare. Aha! I was right. Thank you for checking, King Cash. I appreciate it. And yeah, Michael Cole should be in the Hall of Fame as a commentator. I don't know if there's any other current commentators that might be in the Hall of Fame, just because Michael Cole's kind of like the senior one. He's been the one that's been commentating there the longest, whereas everyone else is pretty new. Like Joe Tess, he's pretty new. Wade Barrett, he's pretty new. Corey Graves is relatively new. Booker T's already a Hall of Fame as a wrestler, but I wouldn't be mad if he was in the Hall of Fame as a commentator as well. Yeah, it was obviously in the Inner Sanctum. There we go. And we have proof because there's that banner, that weird torn banner that we saw, or torn blanket thingy that we saw in the court record. Ugh, pardon me. Ibrahim did me so depressing. Like in one dream, I was in my neighborhood and all the houses were empty and dusty, as if everyone just abandoned their houses decades ago, and the entire city empty and dusty. Wow, it almost sounds like you're walking through Raccoon City from Resident Evil Requiem. Like that kind of abandoned and a little bit wrecked.
Objection. Holding.
One thing I've decided as well about games that I'm playing off stream, at least when it comes to my PS5, is I'm gonna start using my PS5 to kind of go through my backlog a bit more again. I think I've done that before, but I didn't really commit to it. So on Friday or Saturday, I actually installed Far Cry 4 and I started playing that because I had an unopened copy of both Far Cry 4 and Far Cry Primal, and I finally unwrapped it and opened it on Saturday, and so I started playing that game because whereas I have played through and completed Far Cry 6, I haven't played 4 or 5, so I wanted to go back and get through those first as two games that should be pretty fun games on my backlog to get through. Maya becoming our cheerleader. So, new testimony. And I think I know what evidence to present here, so I'm just gonna get through this testimony as quickly as I can. Oh, thanks Automod for not working. Hi Bot, thanks for coming. There we go. Cash. Booker T is a two-time Hall of Famer, as 2013 as solo and 2019 as part of Harlem Heat with his brother Stevie Ray. Yeah, I know that. I am more familiar with Booker's work as a solo performer because he was, yeah, I think he was more successful as a solo performer than as a tag team specialist. I might be wrong about that, but or he might have been equally as successful actually, because I know he's won quite a few tag titles, but also quite a few solo titles. Okay, so, right. Oh, I know, right, Cash? I was actually doing Booker T's singing during Trick Williams' entrance for when I was watching his match with Ricky at Night of Champions. And yeah, it made me miss it so much. It kind of makes me wish that WWE had kind of just bring on Booker T just to do some of his most famous commentary bits, like singing to Trick or doing the when Stephanie Vaquer does the Devil's Kiss, or even singing along to Joe Hendry, because I do miss Booker T calling those moments for those particular wrestlers.
Hold it!
He fell from the sky, I think. Yeah, because I think that would explain the evidence I have. Yeah, he fell from the sky, yeah. So I figured that one out, that I did use the guide to check I was right. I don't know whether I'll be staying up to watch Raw tonight, because I don't actually know whether I'll be going to my mum's this week or not, because I saw her yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I saw her yesterday to watch Night of Champions, so I don't know whether I'll be watching Raw with her this week or not. So if I'm not, then I don't know whether I'll stay up to watch it tonight, especially given that my hay fever is obviously making me a little tired. But maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. Maybe. Either way, I am excited to see how WWE are gonna start the proper build-up to SummerSlam. Well, no, actually before SummerSlam there's the Saturday night's main event at MSG first on July 18th. I definitely won't be watching that live because I'm actually going to a concert on July 18th, because July 18th is when I go to see Charlie Puth, who is one of my favourite pop singers. He also does a little bit of R&B and a little bit of soul sometimes. I've been meaning to go to that, Cash. I've been meaning to go to For the Love of Wrestling for ages. I've known about it for a few years, and usually it is held... Usually I think it's held at the end of February, so the week after my birthday. But I think next year, for whatever reason, they've moved it earlier, so it's at the start of February. So I have been meaning to go to that because I think for me it would make a really great early birthday or late birthday present to meet some wrestlers there. And I'm glad that Booker and Sharmell are really friendly. I do imagine they are. I don't imagine Booker being mean in real life at all. And I'm sure Adam and Britt are even lovely as well. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who's gonna be there next year. I know MJF is gonna be there, Sting's gonna be there, Mick Foley I think is gonna be there, Paige is gonna be there. I can get the website up really quickly. For the Love of Wrestling. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, Andrade, MVP. Oh wow, they've actually announced quite a few guests. So Andrade, MVP, Joey Janela, Santino, and Eugene are actually gonna be there. Nikki Cross as well. Yeah, I saw Nikki got announced. I MJF also got announced. I don't know if they've actually updated this website yet though, because I don't. Maybe they only add the guests on the website once their autographs and photos are available. So maybe the recently announced guests don't have autos and photos available yet, but I saw that Darby Allin got married and Sting was at his wedding and DDP was also at his wedding. It is really weird seeing Sting without face paint now, and also seeing that I think now he's finally done with his wrestling career. He's kind of embracing the fact that he's gone grey because he looks like a real silver fox now. I still remember the absolute goosebumps and elation I got when I got to see Sting at the second All In London. I have 2 really good photos of him coming down the ramp to help Darby in his match against Jack Perry. And just being there in Wembley, feeling the rumble and the ovation. Ooh, okay. I'll do this really quickly, seeing as this is kind of like a hybrid Ace Attorney / just chatting stream at this point. Right. I'm already logged in on Instagram. What do you mean? There we go. So, I won't show this on my screen. I'll just read it out. For the love of wrestling. There we go. Sting's only gonna be there on Saturday though. Oh, Gail Kim's gonna be there. Ooh, that's a cool one. I'm a big fan of Gail Kim. Oh yeah, Tito Santana got announced as well. MJF. I saw he got announced. Paige. John Cena got announced for a sister event of For the Love of Wrestling. He's going to be at For the Love of Fantasy and Sci-Fi in August in London. That's a really good one. Mick Foley. Joey Janela. Very cool. Yeah, they've not announced that many guests. I do think I did read most of them out, but... Oh, Demolition are going to be there as well. Axe and Smash. The recently inducted WWE Hall of Famers. Yeah, very, very cool. Okay, I'm gonna present the... Where is it? There they are, the flags on that one.
Objection!
One thing I think I might be saving up money for to maybe go to again next year is another anime convention. Because I really enjoyed the one I went to last year. And I am hoping that I'll get another chance to go to one. And meet more of my favourite anime voice actors. I do also want to maybe pick a great year to go to Manchester for the For the Love of Wrestling event. Cash, you are thinking of going to the National Wrestling League event where wrestling and football collide on the 27th of September. Very cool. I don't think I know about that one. That's cool. But to be fair, I am more of a wrestling fan than I am a football fan. I mainly just kind of keep a side eye on the football just in case England actually do well for once. Oh wow, it's actually emitting it? Huh. Another Comic Con that I really want to go to one year. So For the Love of Wrestling is on my Comic Con wish list that I want to go to, but I also really want to go to an MCM Comic Con one year because they are like really good for having guests from all manners of entertainment. So anime, film, games, TV. They're really good. I'd probably go to the one in like Birmingham or Manchester though. I don't think I'd spend the extra money to go to London. Because if I can help it, I do try and avoid going to London at all costs because it's just really expensive. I just remembered that this year that I think there's a MCM Comic Con coming up in Birmingham, and I just remembered that I think one of my favourite anime voice actors in Bryce Papenbrook is going to be there. He played Eren in Attack on Titan, Inosuke in Demon Slayer. He's also in Dandadan. I swear I know him for other roles, but I do love Bryce Papenbrook. I think he's such a good voice actor. Kurt Angle, Jake Hager, Wolfgang, and Mark Coffey are gonna be at the National Wrestling League show so far. That's cool. Oh, I don't know if I said actually, but even though it was a bit stressful, I did actually get tickets for the next New Generation Wrestling show in my hometown. And so I will actually get to see former WWE wrestler Luke Menzies, formerly known as Rich Holland, wrestle in December. So that'll be not December, October? Yeah, October I think it is. So that'll be really cool. I also got the VIP package, so as well as, which wasn't, it didn't really break the bank or anything, and the VIP package as well as having, so it basically gets me guaranteed front row seats. I get a photo with one of the NGW wrestlers before the show, and I also get early access to merch, drinks, early access to actually seeing what the arena looks like. So that'll be a really fun wrestling show to go to in October. I just hope it will be worth the stress that I went through with getting the tickets, because my local arena, their website does not work very well for getting tickets at all. Oh, it was so stressful. Oh, D'Lo Brown's also gonna be there. Yeah, We are the nation of domination. That's what I know D'Lo Brown best for. His work in the Attitude Era. Pardon me. Okay, right, so next cross-examination. Okay, press the third statement again.
Hold it!
Also, the new generation wrestling show I got tickets to, it's gonna be advertised as their biggest show ever. So I do wonder if they've got some major surprise matches and guests lined up, because they have managed to bring in really established wrestlers before. So I wonder if that's gonna be the case for the show I got tickets for, which is in October. Because I've said this before on stream, but they've had James Storm there before, they've had Rhino there before. Even Joe Hendry was also in NGW for a little bit before back when he was still on the indies, before he joined TNA and then WWE. Oh wow, the love of wrestling actually got more expensive. Oh, that's a shame. So the admission prices went up from £20 each to £55, and that's without buying the after party and buying tickets to see the guests and food and drink in the merch stalls. Yeah. I know I got two really good bits of advice for when I went to the anime convention last year. So I actually got a stool and I bought it with me for when I was waiting in the autograph lines to meet guests, and it did actually come in really handy, especially because with the with the difficulties I have, I can't really stand up stationary for that long, so it did really come in handy with me being able to sit down and have breaks and not get tired out in the queue lines. So, and the other bit of advice I got is it's way better to just make your own food and bring it with you to a convention rather than spend the extortionate amount of money to get the food at the convention. Okay, right. Mainland newspaper. That one.
Objection!
I'm trying to remember how much the anime convention I went to was, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think it was that expensive. Even for a 3-day ticket, because I went for the whole weekend. So, have you only been to Vanilla Wrestling once when you met Chugs and Brit Cash, or have you been more times than that? Oh gosh. When did the witness start from to reach the sanctum? I wonder if he was in the prison at the top. I'm just gonna check that. Yeah, I'm right. He was in prison, so he's already a criminal.
Take that!
Wait, Nayuta already knew that? Weird. I think I've already figured that out. Well, I already remember who this guy really is. Because I have played this game before, you know. The witness's true identity is... I think we have a wanted poster. There we go, there we go. Oh, you also went last year, and you met Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Breezango, yes. Heath Slater, Sting, and many others. Oh, that's cool. So, you definitely recommend it then, especially to a fellow wrestling fan like me. That's good. But if what you say is true and they have made it more expensive, I might wait and see if they make it cheaper again. Oh, you also met Goldberg in 2023? Oh, I wonder what he's like in real life. I do wonder what wrestlers I'd want to meet. There's plenty of AEW wrestlers I'd want to meet. I'd say my top 5 in WWE would probably be... If we're talking like I'd have to make 2 lists here. So present day, I'd probably go just off the top of my head. So Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, Roman Reigns, I think the Usos as a collective unit, they'd be really fun to meet. And number 5, maybe Finn Balor or Sami Zayn, like a kind of mid-carder that I've loved for a while. That's kind of off the top of my head. And then for past wrestling stars that I want to meet, I think my top 5, so John Cena would be number 1 for sure. I'd really want to meet Booker T, just because he's kind of, whereas R-Truth is kind of like the modern day person that's always managed to put a smile on my face and make me laugh. I think Booker T is the kind of past version of that, the retro version of the wrestler that I think of when I think, man, that guy really made me smile and made me laugh. So John Cena, Booker T. Why didn't I think of him for current day? Of course I want to meet Rey Mysterio, only my favourite lucha wrestler of all time. Duh. Yeah, Rey Mysterio would be up there for present day wrestlers to meet for sure. I think I'd probably cry if I met Rey, actually, just because I really... Rey Mysterio is someone that I have supported for so many years. Randy Orton would also be a cool one to meet. There's so many. Another past wrestler, though he's technically more a movie star, that I'd want to meet now is Batista, Dave Batista. Because as well as loving his wrestling work, I love him in the MCU as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's 3 past wrestlers. And I think I'd want to meet Kurt Angle, just because Kurt Angle would be kind of like the legendary figure that I'd want to meet that's won loads of world titles, and he'd be the one that I'd want to ask and be like, so does it ever get old winning a world title? Hi honey, I'm just talking about wrestling.
Good? Having fun?
Yeah.
Also good.
Cash, you also went to a WWE live event last year in August in your hometown before they went to Clash in Paris. Yeah, the last time I saw WWE live, so I saw WWE twice in 2019. So the first time was in May when the main roster came for the UK tour. I saw them in Sheffield at the Fly DSA Arena, as it was known as then. I think it's just called the Sheffield Arena again now. But I went to WWE Raw and I it wasn't a TV taping, it was just a live event. And I was in the front row, but I wasn't at the barricade, I was kind of just to the left of it. So I could still like get up and run to the barricade and get like really good photos from the entrance. And then also in 2019, I actually went to the TV taping of NXT UK in November that was held in my hometown. So that's a night that I'll never ever forget, because it's probably still, well, I don't know whether it's on Netflix, because I don't think WWE have put NXT UK on Netflix, but it was on the WWE network when NXT UK was still airing. But there is a moment of me holding a British Strong Style sign, so Trent Seven and Tyler Bate. I made a sign, and Trent Seven, when he comes out during the show I went to, he actually took me aside and held my sign with me. And that is a moment that I will remember forever, because one, I was just so starstruck, I was like, what is happening? And two, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm on TV, it made it on TV. So amazing. I miss NXT UK so much. I'm still kind of mad at WWE that they got rid of it, because I do miss those Tuesday nights where I just sit in my bedroom in my WWE fan zone and I just watch NXT UK every night. Or was it Thursday? It was either Tuesday or Thursday. Might have been Thursday. I know it was a day starting in T. So there's two possible days it could have been. Casher was sat 3 rows from the front, ringside. Yeah, so at the first All In, me and Fred were sat 3 rows from the front, and we are actually visible on the camera sometimes. And we got a bit of an upgrade for the second AEW All In event we went to. So the one before Forbidden Door, where AEW came to London for All In last, but we actually got front row barrier on the ramp, so not only could I get really good photos and videos, but I also got prime high five the wrestlers position, which was really cool. So, and then before the 2 WWE events I went to in 2019, I went to NXT's first and only show in Sheffield in December 2016, I think it was. And there I saw people like Chad Gable, Jason Jordan when he still wrestled, the Revival back when they were Revival and not FTR. I saw Enzo and Cass, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Nia Jax. Oh gosh, I saw so many kind of NXT OGs at that show. And then before the NXT show I went to, the very first WWE event I went to was in April 2010, which was the WrestleMania 26 Revenge Tour, and that was also in Sheffield. And there I saw John Cena, Batista, Big Show. I might have actually went to see WWE 3 times in 2019, because I also went to the WWE live event tour that was held in November. Yeah, wow, I actually went to see WWE 3 times in 2019, because I also went the week before NXT UK to see a live event, a Raw live event in Leeds with my best friends. So 2019 was a busy year for me for seeing wrestling shows. Unfortunately though, I don't think I'll be going to another WWE show until they lower the event prices a little bit. Because me and my mum were considering going to the recent Sheffield show that WWE had on the 24th of June. But the tickets were just way too expensive for us. Because I will say, whereas the commentary being more free and also the wrestlers and the promos being more free to do what they want has been a good thing of Triple H taking over from Vince for WWE. I do think that one of the bad things is the increase in price for going to see a WWE show. I do think that might be more of a TKO thing, like The Rock and Vince and Dana White and whoever else controls WWE ticket prices kind of dealio. But yeah, I really wish WWE shows were 40 to 70 quid like they used to be back in the day. Cash, while you was at the house show, you bought a replica WWE World Heavyweight Championship, a picture program, a t-shirt with the house show logo, and a Jey Uso WrestleMania t-shirt. And when I met Chugs, I won a replica AEW Championship, and also got a picture with Big Show just as he was going to take a break without anyone seeing, as I asked him nicely if it was okay. Oh, that's good. And I'm glad that Big Show, or Paul White, was kind enough to give you that photo, even as he was heading off to have a break from the, I'm sure, relentless busyness of autographing for so many people. Paul White would be another one that I want to meet, because I have always been a big Paul White / Big Show fan. Not just in the ring, but I also, even though it only got one season, I think, I really enjoyed the Big Show show that he did on Netflix. Though it was really weird seeing, I think it was Paul White, Mick Foley, Mark Henry, and maybe Rikishi, but there was some sort of musical number on that show, and it was really weird. Cash, when you stood next to Paul White to have the picture, you came up to his shoulder. Yeah. I have always kind of imagined what I would look like if I were to meet a really tall wrestler and stand next to them. It'd be the complete opposite if I met Rey Mysterio, because I imagine if my dream did come true and I'd meet Rey Mysterio, I probably would be taller than him. Or about the same size, which would be really weird. Okay, so our suspect has confirmed he is escaped prisoner That's Arable, or That's Horrible, if you want to say it like how it's obviously a pun of That's Horrible. Cash, he was quite surprised, really, considering you're just over 6 feet and Big Show is over 7 feet tall. Yeah. No, I feel like Big Show or Paul White, I feel like even though he is tall, he is also quite wide. He's got like quite a broad build because he's obviously really muscly and really big. So maybe that kind of counts into his height a little bit. So maybe because he's got such a big build and he's so muscly and so like wide in terms of his shoulders and everything, maybe that limits his height just a little bit. So even though he's over 7 feet tall, maybe he's actually not reaching the full potential of his height. If that makes sense. I don't think out of the wrestlers I've met, I've had any surprises. Now that I've met both face and heel wrestlers, I am kind of surprised at like the differences between how they behave, because the heel wrestlers, or the heel wrestler that I met at the last NGW show I went to, a guy called Ace Matthews, he was actually really kind of reserved. I feel like some heel wrestlers can be quite shy and not really know what to say, because I imagine they'll get quite a few trolls or haters that'll be like, "Boo, you suck!" They'll treat him like they're the character. So maybe that's why some heel wrestlers are a bit reserved and they don't really know what to say because they're worried about how people are gonna react. Oh, you also met FTR. I really want to meet FTR. Oh, FTR are like one of my favorite tag teams. I think in terms of tag teams, my top 3 that I'd want to meet are Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. So this is no particular order. Well, actually, I'll do like a top 5 for tag teams really quickly. So, no particular order. So, Cope and Cage, or Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, FTR, Young Bucks, Usos, and maybe the New Day. So, Xavier and Kofi. They definitely... Yeah, I would love to meet Creed or Kofi at some point down the line. And if they go to AEW, like the rumored to, that might actually be more likely than because then if they went to an AEW I was lucky enough to be able to go to another All-In event in the future, maybe I could actually have a chance to meet them, which would be really cool. I do wonder what FTR are like in real life. I imagine Dax is quite friendly. I'm not too sure about Cash. Maybe Cash might be more chill. I don't know. I don't really know a good way of putting it. I think chill is right. Just someone that's like, yo, what's up? How are you doing? Oh my god, it's 2 hours already. Ah. Okay. Seeing as I did start early, I'll go a little bit longer. Not maybe 15 minutes. So not 15 minutes, but maybe 10 more minutes. So just because I also do want to talk about how I've met a couple of voice actors and they were both really cool. Seeing as we're talking about meeting famous wrestlers and famous people. So obviously I went to an anime convention last year, and at that anime convention I met the English voice of Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen, that being the very kind and cool Adam MacArthur. He was really, really nice to meet. Really, really chill, easy to talk to. He basically, as soon as I walked up to his table, struck up a conversation with me right away, which was really, really nice. And it was kind of easy for me, even though I was nervous, to just be like, oh my god, JJK, you're amazing as Yuji. And then also talk about Kaiju number 8, because back when I went to the anime convention, it was just before Kaiju number 8 season 2 came out. So I was saying, oh my gosh, I also really like your work in Kaiju number 8. And yeah, just a really, really cool dude to meet. And I think the autograph pop vinyl of Yuji that Adam signed for me is now one of my most prized possessions, probably. So yeah, very, 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 very proud to have that. And then the other voice actor I met is slightly more established than Adam MacArthur. He's definitely known for more roles. So I met Austin Tyndall, who is best known as Monomer, the copy hero Phantom Thief from MHA. And he also played Marco Bot in Attack on Titan, Leo Vermilion in Black Clover, Yu Ishigami in Kaguya-sama Love is War. He's been in so many high-profile animes, and he was more nice. I didn't really get a cool vibe off of him, but he was just a genuinely really nice person. Like, he did seem to really, really be interested in my opinions and what I wanted to talk about, which was really nice. And he was also really positive and friendly. He just had the biggest smile on his face whilst I was talking to him. So, very, very cool. Scrap paper. Let's see. Yeah, what's missing a bit of paper? Right, me. You only need to meet Creed and Claudia Cash, then you'll have met all 4 of the Up Up Down Down gang. I am not jealous at all, and that is complete sarcasm because I am very jealous. I think I have been liked on Twitter by all of the party, I think. Yeah, I'm sure I've been liked by Breeze, but I've definitely been liked by Chugs and Creed, Claudia, and yeah. I got noticed by Breeze as well on his Sweets Live account. So, whereas I haven't met any of the party, I've been noticed by all of the party. So I can say that. Right. No. Full stain letter. Okay. Just quickly do this. Oh wait, let me. Oh. There we go.
Take that!
I will. Another thing I learned about the first WWE show I went to in 2019, because I was in the front row after the show, I was so close to meeting Roman Reigns and getting a selfie and being able to talk with him. But security started cutting people off after a few minutes of people crowding up to meet. I think it was Roman Reigns, and I'm trying to remember who the other person was. It might have been Seth, maybe. Maybe Roman and Seth were both doing autographs, and security started cutting people off, and I was literally in the front row of people that security cut off from meeting the wrestlers. So yeah, I was a little bit bummed after that. I was like, oh, I was so close to meeting Roman Reigns. But I have faith it will happen, and I look forward to the day where I can finally acknowledge the tribal chief in person. Even though I have mentioned that I do really want to meet Roman Reigns and the Usos, I think I do want to meet any member of the Anoa'i family in general, because I have so much love and respect for that whole wrestling family, that whole dynasty. I know lately on WWE TV they do gloat a lot about their family tree and how a lot of their family members have been successful, but that respect and that recognition is well earned. So I don't just want to meet Roman and Usos, I also would love to meet I'd love to meet Solo and Jacob and honorary Sami Zayn, even though he's not technically an Anoa'i family member. I do wonder if Umaga's son Zilla Fatu is ever gonna make his way to WWE eventually, especially because Booker T has helped. I think he is trained by Booker T, and Booker T was kind of the one that helped him put his life together after he came out of prison.
Talk to them. Hold it.
Okay, so I'm gonna save the game and start wrapping up now because it has been 10 more minutes. So let's save. But I do hope everyone enjoyed this stream. I do appreciate it was a more slow stream in terms of gameplay, but a lot of chatter went down, which I really appreciate. So, gonna save. There we go. And there we go. Yeah. I'll just save again just to make sure. Right, there we go. I've been watching WWE since very late 2009. My first episode of WWE was the MSG one that they did in November of 2009. Though before that, I was slowly getting into WWE thanks to SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, which was my first WWE video game. But that MSG episode where Kofi and Randy Orton got in that massive brawl and Roddy Piper had Piper's Pit with The Miz, I think that was my first WWE episode. And definitely a memorable WWE episode to start off of. I do think that MSG episode in 2009 is considered one of the more memorable episodes from MSG. There we go. So, I will be back tomorrow, and tomorrow is Tuesday, so the 5-game cycle will be continuing. I am back to the 5-game cycle, so today was Ace Attorney, and tomorrow will be Yakuza 5 Remastered, where we are going to be continuing playing as, for the very first time in the Yakuza series, we are playing as Kiryu's adopted daughter, Haruka Sawamura. We are following her journey into becoming a famous idol in Japan. So if you're familiar with the anime Oshinoko, like I am, it's basically like a Yakuza meets Oshinoko kind of chapter of gameplay. So there's a lot of rhythm games. Haruka doesn't really fight, she more dances. So it's really different and really interesting. So do join me for that tomorrow if you can. In the meantime, if you don't already, then do follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on Twitch, turn your notifications on both Twitch and YouTube so you know when I go live. Yeah, have a great rest of your day, Cash. Thank you for hanging out with me for your 15th stream in a row. Yeah, thanks again for that awesome watch streak. Yeah, so turn your notifications on Twitch and YouTube. If you are on YouTube and you are watching this stream, then do like the video if you're watching on demand, react to the stream if you're watching live, comment on what your favourite part about Spirit of Justice has been so far, and also, as always, suggest games for me to play and complete on stream. Also, last but certainly not least, do subscribe to me, and optionally, but very welcomely, I don't know if that's a word, I don't think it is, but I said it anyway, do follow me on all my socials if you want to keep up with what I like to talk about and post about in my free time. I do post a lot about anime, about wrestling, video games, and those are my 3 main passions mainly. Also music as well, I post a lot about music. So there. Okay. I'm gonna end the stream on YouTube so I can focus on reading on Twitch. So thank you to my YouTube family for coming and watching, and I hope to see you all tomorrow.